There's nobody on planet Earth that will say I've never been offended before. Even today, have you not been offended? Last week, were you not offended? Offenses are a normal part of life. We would offend each other. Even the Bible says make allowance for each other's faults, which means that we would always offend each other. People would always offend you, and then offenses will be there. How you handle it is what is very important. How you progress from that point of offense. And today, I'm going to be talking about handling offenses. At the end of this video, I want you to be able to understand the dynamics of offenses, how it happens in relationships, and what you can do with it. Stay tuned to the end. Hello there, my name is Tolu Akiemi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a privilege to be in your space, and I'm grateful to God for this opportunity to be in your space, for you to hear me. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you once again for coming back to listen to what I had to say. So I said earlier, I'm talking about handling offenses. Offenses are a normal part of life. We would offend each other. Somebody will say something that displeases you. It's just like you can just wake up today and decide that, oh, it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be bubbly, and somebody just comes. Pew, pew. Offenses are like bullets, emotional bullets. Someone just comments, someone just does something, and they happen because of expectations, or most times because of expectations. We have expectations of people depending on the level of relationship that we have with that person or how intimate it is. The expectations, there are things that are just the bare minimum that you could expect from people. And they're also unrealistic expectations, thinking that life should be fair, thinking that everybody should like you, everybody should support you. And when you don't get that much level of support, you're angry, or everybody should just have time for you. This person should have time for you all the time. When I call, you just pick up immediately. And we are all adults. Life happens. I have friends that have babies. When you call, the baby's crying, the baby's this. I can't say go and lock up your baby because you want to speak to me. That is unrealistic and that is unreasonable. We have expectations of people, and when they're unrealistic, when we don't communicate the expectations clearly, when they're unrealistic, we only set up ourselves for disappointments, for hurts, for frustration, because you haven't even communicated with the person. Even when you have expectations, is it something that that person can meet? Because you all have our different strengths and weaknesses. Can the person meet this thing? Sometimes you say, oh, my husband is not romantic, my husband is not this, whereas your definition of romantic is what you've watched on Nollywood, what you've watched on Bollywood, because he always opened the door, he bought flowers, he threw petals on the floor. I don't even realize that the fact that your husband comes home immediately after work, not branching elsewhere, is his way of showing I love you. I could do something else. I could have probably gone somewhere else, and he comes home because he wants to meet you. Or you just little gestures here and there that you don't see that this person is doing. It could be anything. Expectations are there, and if we don't communicate it properly, it will lead to offenses. So we need to watch that. Also, the fact that as humans, I can be the offended today and you the offender. Tomorrow I'm the offender, you are the offended, because relationships are so dynamic. The things that this one will do to you to offend you, upset you, it's just different. And we are going through different things. Somebody might have had a very bad and rough day, and you just did something and the person was just very abrupt with you, and you're like, what is it? And you feel offended, whereas it wasn't even your fault. The person was just outrightly abrupt for whatever reason or whatever it is that's going on with their day. How to handle this? If you make allowance for each other's faults, I can feel, okay, maybe this person is having a bad day, instead of me absorbing it, feeling like, oh, this person is this first person is that, instead of thinking that, oh, maybe this person did this deliberately. I make allowance for your fault. It just helps me to have a better perspective. Oh, this person is going through a rough patch at home. This person is having a bad day. Things like that, just to make excuses for you. And then that is one. Two, you can own up to your mistakes when you do things wrong. You identify the role that you played in whatever situation it is, and sometimes if I am the offended and I come to you and say you did this, if I come with an accusatory tone. The natural response is for you to put up your defenses. It's natural. If someone comes as if they're accusing you, attacking you, you feel judged already, you will just put up your defenses. Oh, I just did it. And it creates more frustration. Even the Bible talks about a gentle answer, turning away wrath. If someone comes to you like that and you respond softly, they will lose guard because they were not expecting that kind of reaction. We are all used to fire for fire, attack, because I shall not agree, I can't take this shit, I can't take this, I can't take that, things like that, and they're just giving ourselves fire for fire. So they see someone who try to attack them, and the way they maneuver that situation, and then they lose guard. Soft answer turns away wrath. It's not that you are taking all manner of nonsense from people. No, it's just you maintaining your peace. So own up to your mistakes. And then I want to share a story from the Bible. 2 Samuel is a story of Amnon and a lady called Tamar. Is very interesting, and it's interesting to me because I see family dynamics at play in how offenses are handled, how it can also play out in our lives as adults. A lot of times how we handle offenses stems from what we have mirrored as children, what we have seen in our environment growing up. It might be that's how we handle offenses. Let me just dive into the story. Amnon was King David's son, and his half-sister, her name is Tamar. She's like a direct sister to Absalom. For some reason, he just became obsessed with her. He just loved her. It's devilish love that you have. He was just obsessed and his friend came to Nadab, said, "Oh, son of a king, what's wrong with you? Why are you becoming thinner?" And he said, "Oh, I like this, my sister Tamar. I like her. I'm just, and I don't know what to do." And that one just gave him strategy. "What's wrong with you? You're the king's son. You can have anything you want. Just pretend to be ill." And that one too pretended to be ill, told the king, "Please, can my sister come and cook for me?" I said, "Okay, no problem." And the king went and said, "Oh, Tamar, go and cook for your brother. He's not feeling well." She too went to the market, bought everything, did this, did that, and went to her brother to cook for her brother. Please, what's wrong with that? They went to his house, made the food. The smart guy told people, "Everybody leave, everybody go out." And she came in, brought the food, and he tried to grab her. She was like, "No, don't do that kind of a thing. You're the son of a king. If you ask for my hand from the king, he's going to allow you. There's no need to be rough. There's no need to do this. Don't do this." And he didn't listen. He overpowered her, raped her, and as soon as he raped her, sent her packing. Is classic evil behavior. These people that will just do something, eat, clean their mouth like they didn't do anything, just move on like nothing happened, sent her away. I'm just thinking, in Amnon's head, did he not see this girl crying? He pushed her away. Did he not think for a second that she was going to go somewhere? I'm trying to bring it into our day. Some people will be raped. It's a very traumatic thing, and because of the shame that they feel, they just decide that I will just keep quiet, I will not say anything. Maybe he was thinking she was going to do that, and the poor girl went crying, wailing, got back home. Her brother heard about it and said, "Did your brother do this to you?" She said, "Yes." And they said, "Don't take it to heart, sorry, he's your brother." And she remained desolate in his house. The king, their father, heard about it. He was very angry, and that's all the Bible recorded. He didn't do anything about it. The brother that said, "Don't take it to heart," is your brother. He didn't say anything good or bad. That's how the Bible recorded it. He didn't say anything good or bad to the brother, to Amnon that did that thing. He kept quiet. So we see different reactions to things. He did something. He didn't even act like he did anything. Made no effort to rectify what he did. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. You just do something wicked and just clean your mouth. Nothing happened. He didn't make any effort to rectify it. He didn't speak to anybody about it. He just kept quiet. How many of us can see that trait of Amnon in us? When you do something and you just keep quiet, like no big deal. because a situation, what you've done has had an impact on another person, on a group of people, and just decide, well, it's what it is, and you just move on like that. How many of us do that? And it could be in any situation, anything. You just did something and just feel like, and you just move on. That's one kind of behavior. Number 2, the brother, Absalom. He was angry. He hated his brother from that minute. And it's natural for you to be angry. Someone raped your sister. You will be fuming. He was angry, but he didn't do anything. He kept quiet. You see how an offense can just be there. If left unaddressed, it will just stay there, brewing. That anger is just developing. It's just there. What you will do is inside your heart. How many of us are like Absalom? Someone does something to you and you just keep quiet, nothing happened, but inside of it you're already cooking means. It's not too far. Let's not think like it's some special people that this thing happens to. Just last week somebody upset me. I was thinking, how can I get back at this person? I just noticed that my thoughts were just going to, what can I do? I was just cooking up different things. Should I go and spot check this person? Should I go and do this? And I will look back. What are you doing? I had to put my God, please forgive me. I will not do something that will cost this person. Because this person has done this, I forgive you. I had to go down there like, so even me can cook up something like this against another human being. What of those that don't have Christ? What of those that you don't even have a conscience? It's how many of us? Someone do something to you, you just keep quiet, but what you want to do on the side of you is there. Absalom did that. The king, on the other hand, should represent the justice system of the leader that you expect to do something about it. You expect maybe your father to do something about the situation, and he just keeps quiet. Between siblings, and then the rivalry goes on. Or maybe at work, you expect the manager to do something, but maybe because the person who caused that impact is probably the favorite of the manager or something, and you feel, he didn't do anything about it. David was clearly angry, but he didn't do anything. So there was an elephant in the room. Nobody did anything to address it. Some of us are like that. Something happens. Well, there are some people that something happens, they want to address it right now, right here, right now. And they do it. It causes more damage, especially when it's in a group. And you see how something you do might be directed towards one person, but they are on other parties, because we are all human beings. We are linked to other people. You do something to a man, you've indirectly affected his wife. You've affected his children. You will know this person did this to my father, and you don't know how much of that is brewing up in the heart of that child. We see how what you do has connections everywhere, and we see how someone has offended somebody. Let's see what Absalom did. He didn't say anything good or bad to the brother Amnon who offended him, who raped his sister. 2 years down the line, 2 whole years, he spoke to the king and said, I want to have a banquet. I'm inviting all the king's son. I'm inviting you. The king said, no, we'll just be a burden to you. He said, don't worry about it. Even if you don't want to come, let Amnon come. I said, really? Why do you want Amnon to come? I'm just holding a banquet here. The king said, no problem. I sent him, and he gave instructions. Strike Amnon. Kill him. After 2 years. You see what offense can do when you leave it unattended to. 2 whole years, he killed that guy. That guy that he killed was his brother. Offenses can be very dangerous if you don't handle it. No matter how small, don't give opportunity to something that can be quickly tackled. Don't ignore it, thinking, it's nothing. It will become big. He killed his brother after 2 whole years. And the Amnon, I'm sure he's like, 1 month, nobody said anything. He'll think he has gotten away with it. 6 months, nobody. 1 year, the guy is just balling, moving around. 2nd year, he has totally lost guard. That this guy said, come to my banquet, and he went. If it happened like maybe 6 months after the incident, he might have said, I'm not going. Come up with an excuse. We'll see how time has made him lose guard, and he went and he died. He went and he was murdered at that place. Sometimes I draw like some sort of childhood trauma from all of this. David, his father, had slept with Bathsheba earlier. If you're familiar with Bible story, and he slept with Bathsheba, killed her husband. She got pregnant. He tried to cover it up, invited her husband Uriah from the war, and said, just go home. The guy said, I cannot go home. He did not go home. He didn't sleep with his wife. If she's pregnant, somebody else must have impregnated her. He strategized and ensured that that man was killed. The husband was killed. And he kept quiet, brought the woman into his house. Pregnancy, everything. Kept quiet like he didn't do anything. Just like his son Amnon did. Until God sent a prophet to come and say that, you did this, you did this, you did this. And then he became remorseful, repented of it. Sometimes you wonder, something you've experienced, you see your son doing the same thing and you didn't see anything. Maybe you would have said, maybe he will come and speak to me. He has done something wrong. First month, second month, third month, and you did not address it. He's doing exactly the same thing that you did. You see how sometimes we replicate things that our families have done, or that have happened in our families. Replicate these things. Childhood trauma from one place or the other. The guy just did typically what his father did. It cost him his life. That's unknown. It cost him his life. You see, sometimes we might mirror or in our homes, not handling issues, sweeping issues under the carpet, and it shows up in our lives at different points and might be detrimental. That's why, regardless of where you've grown up, it's time for you to build yourself up as well. Learn the right ways to do things and build yourself up. Make allowance for each other's faults. Know that these people will offend me. People will offend me. I will offend people. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. You make allowance for your faults. When something has been done and has had an impact, I will say sorry. We all have this ego. Sometimes it might be difficult to say sorry, but you will not die. You will not die. Even if you say sorry, it just comes out of your mouth. You will not die. I mean it. The other person knows that what has been done, you've apologized for it, and they feel hurt. Because sometimes you feel what you did was not wrong, but there's been an impact on another person. That impact was not your intention. What you did, you felt was right, but that impact was not part of the plan. It was unintended. You can apologize for the impact that thing has had on this person so that they feel heard and you're able to squash it right there and then. Leaving issues to linger, if you see that you have that trait, it's a message for myself as well. If you see you have that kind of trait, you need to learn to handle those things and squash them so that it doesn't grow to become something else. That's why some people become very vindictive. Someone does something to you, you keep quiet, you allow it to build up, and then you just do something. In this world, people don't mind throwing anybody under the bus for whatever reason. So it might not be physical death, but throwing you under the bus at a point where it means a whole lot to you, it's not what you want. You must learn to reparent ourselves if this is the kind of pattern you observed growing up. Search deep. How do I handle misunderstandings? How do I handle conflicts? When I'm offended, how do I handle it? And how can I go on from there? Make allowance for each other's faults. Own up to my mistake. Recognize the part I played in this. Be able to apologize and say sorry. And it goes both ways, because today you are the offended, I'm the offender. Tomorrow I'm the offended and you are the offender. Nobody is too righteous to be an offender. I hope that you picked one or two things from everything I've shared today. Till I see you next time. Bye for now.